Wow, guys, it is a beautiful morning this morning. Even though it's a beautiful morning, I'm going to take you guys inside. I'm going to show you our brand new freeze dryer that we just got in from Harvest Right. So let's go inside, show you what I got. All right, guys, here you have it. Here's our brand new freeze dryer that we just got in from Harvest Right. This thing we've already got our first batch in here. We've already actually ran a first burn batch. The first burn batch is you just basically put some old bread in there, some moist bread, and you run it through, just basically to get rid of the new car smell kind of thing. After you do that, you throw your bread away, you know, it's no good. And then you start your first batch. So this is going to be our first batch that we're going to pull out of here. I've got some different things in here. I've got some raw meat, some cooked meat, we've got some strawberries in here, a few different things. But anyway, this is fixing to be on its final dry right now. It's got about 4 minutes left to go. And so I'm going to walk you through as we go through this cycle here. But anyway, on this freeze dryer, what this is all about is it dehydrates your food at the same time as freezing it. And so this will preserve your food for up to 25 years if done right. And so it takes all of the moisture out by freezing and heating. So it'll freeze everything to a minus 45 degrees. Then it heats it up, waits for the steam to come off of the cold items that you put in there, and then that condensation builds up on the sidewalls and freezes again. And so all the moisture just keeps being sucked out of it. It also has a vacuum pump down here in the bottom. I'll kind of show you that a little bit in detail here, a little bit more. Let me get you guys a little closer so you can see it. Okay. Now down here is our vacuum pump. Now this probably sounds a little bit louder on camera than it actually is. This thing is really, really quiet. It's probably no more louder than I would say a box fan maybe. And so anyway, it attaches right up here to the side. It goes straight down there to the vacuum pump. Over here on the other side, we have a drain valve, and that's where all the condensation will be drained out of. This thing is completely digital. This has got a really thick glass door on this, guys. I mean, look how thick this glass door is on here. It is really thick. This thing is built really, really nice. And again, like I say, we got this one here from Harvest Right. And so far, I'm really impressed with the quality and the build of this thing. So we're going to pull some food out here in a minute, and we'll see how good the food is once we pull it out. All right, guys, this thing's about to complete its cycle here. All right, so now that we've completed this cycle here, it's asking us now to open up the drain valve and to bin it. So we're going to open up the valve on the side here, and it's going to repressurize. As you can hear the air going back into the chamber. Okay, now we're going to open up the door here. We're going to pull off our insulator. And as you can see here, here's all of our stuff here. Okay, now here we've got some oranges that have been freeze dried. Here's some strawberries. Now these strawberries, wow, these things are really light. They look just like a strawberry, guys. I mean, they're real thin. These here you can, look at there. Just break them in two. We've done some steaks. Oh, look at there. These things are really light. I mean, this is just amazing, guys. These are the raw ones, and these ones here are cooked. This here is some chicken. This thing is just really, really light. Look at this. Look at there, guys. Now this, when you reconstitute these, guys, these here will go back to normal. Believe it or not, this food is going to look just like it was whenever it was put in. So now we're going to put this in some Mylar bags. Let me take you on that process and show you how that's done. Okay, guys. Now here is the sealer that we got with our freeze dryer, and this is going to seal all of our bags up. So I've got my Mylar bags here that we got, and I've also got some oxygen absorbers. Now the way that this is going to work here is we open up our bag. These are some really pretty bags as well that come from Harvest Right. Okay, now what we're going to do is I'm going to start with the raw meat first, and I'm going to place the meat in here. Just like that. Okay, now when you're doing this, you have to use these oxygen absorbers right away, so you pretty much got to have everything ready to go whenever you're ready to do this, because these do start going bad, these oxygen absorbers, right away. Okay, I'm going to put 3 oxygen absorbers in here just to make sure that that seals up really good. I'm going to push much of this meat down in to make a nice tight seal on the top. Okay, so we want to squeeze out all of the air possible, and then we're going to place this on here, and we're going to press down. Okay, right there, it's sealed. The little motor here kind of kicks on for a minute. You can hear it kick on, and then you can hear it kick off. All right, so we're going to do this kind of fast because we don't want them oxygen absorbers to ruin on us, because they do ruin really quick. Okay, so now here we've got some smoked chicken, and we're going to label all of these after we get everything in. We're going to do the same here, push out all the air that we possibly can, and then we're going to press down. Okay, that bag is sealed. So now I know that I have my raw steaks here, my smoked chicken here. Okay, now what I'm going to do, okay, now these oxygen absorbers, once they've hit air, they have a little tablet in here that shows you that they've hit air, and it changes colors immediately. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to seal this bag back up. Okay, this bag is sealed, and that way I can reuse these again. Another thing that you can do is you can put these in canning jars if you need to. But just to hold them for right now until I get the rest of my batches over here going, we're going to seal that. Okay, so what we're going to do, first of all, let's break all this loose. Okay, this is all going to go straight in here. All right, let me get something like. Okay, guys, now we're just going to break this loose. Start dropping these in here. These are really light. They almost feel like styrofoam in a way. They're so light. Okay, now these ones here, we're not planning on keeping these long term. These are going to be snacks for the kids. So these here, what I'm going to do here is I'm going to just drop a oxygen absorber in here, and then we'll put the lid on. These will be good. I also have a vacuum sealer that I'll vacuum seal these here in a little bit and show you how that's done. Alright, I'm going to get some oranges into this one, and then we'll vacuum seal these as well. And guys, these really taste really good. The flavor is amazing on these things. I mean, it really brings out the flavors. And like I say, we are fixing to vacuum seal these into the jars, and I'll show you how this is done. Vacuum sealing the jars, so that way they still last. They won't last as long as they will in the Mylar bags, but they still last pretty good in the mason jars. All right, now so for my last bag here, I'm going to put the rest of these here strawberries in a bag here. And we have to work kind of fast on this because these will start rehydrating with just the moisture in the air. And so we don't want these to rehydrate right away. So we're going to try to work as fast as we can getting these into the bags and getting them sealed up. The quicker you can get them in the bags, the actual longer the life of the food will be. Just for the simple fact that, okay, and then we'll put oxygen absorbers in there, push out all the air, and we're going to do the same thing here. We're just going to line this thing up, push down on it, and it's sealed. Just like that. Alright, and then we'll get these labeled, and I'm going to show you how we seal these jars up. Now, I got out my my vacuum sealer. Now, my vacuum sealer has an attachment attached to the mason jars, and so what we do here is we'll put our lids on, and we'll press down here. This will cause a vacuum into the jars. This is going to now suck out all the air out of this jar. We'll let this run for just a few minutes. The sound changes a little bit just to let us know that it's tightening up, a little bit less oxygen inside the jar. And right there it should be done. And we'll pull off the lid, and it's sealed. There's nothing, no movement, so we know that that one's sealed. Okay, now once again, we're going to do this one here. I've already got the oxygen absorbers in there in this one, and I can see a little bit of movement, so I know there's a little bit of oxygen still left in there. So we're going to continue to suck out the rest of the air that's in here. Okay, just to make sure, I'm going to show you how much air has been sucked out of here. You can hear that. That's a vacuum seal. So we're going to stick it back on here one more time. Okay. And there you have it. It's sealed up. It's not coming off. And so I put the rings back on. You don't really need the rings, but I put the rings back on so once the kids open it up, get them a snack, we have a ring that will reseal it until we can vacuum seal it again. Most of the time what I'll do, kids can grab what they want, and if I know that they've been in it, I will take my vacuum out and reseal the jars just so that they last a little bit longer. So, alright guys, well, I'm going to label these bags up, and we'll give you one last walkthrough on the freeze dryer and show you the inside of it. Okay guys, now this is the inside of the chamber. Okay, you can see all of the frost that had built up on the inside there. So that was all of the water that had come off of the food that's been built up inside that chamber in there. And so these trays, once they go inside these trays here, they warm up, and so all that moisture goes to the outside walls there, and that's where it freezes. So, like I say, over here is the little drain valve. So that's where you open up the drain valve there. And then right here is where the vacuum pump goes in, all the way down here to the vacuum pump. Now the vacuum pump on here, now we got the premium pump. So the premium pump, you don't have to change the oil as often. They do have a Premier pump that is oilless, and then they've got one model that's a little bit below this model. The model that's below this model, you have to change the oil a lot more often. I think it's anywhere from every batch to every 4 to 5 batches. This model, we don't have to change the oil only every 20 batches. So 20 to 25 batches for this model here. And so to me that was worth the extra expense there. This thing, it's like I say, it's all digital. This thing pretty much runs itself, and you can freeze your food first before you put it in here, or you can put it in there raw and unfrozen, and this will freeze it for you. So there's different cycles that you can run through on this, but hopefully this is going to be a very economical way of saving our produce, saving our food. You can put leftovers in here, guys, all kinds of things. And so we're hoping that, you know, maybe this summer when we get lots of tomatoes and things like that coming in from the garden, that we're going to be able to preserve everything that's coming from the garden, and we won't have to throw so much food away. So this is one more way of preserving our food. The thing I want to try next with you guys is we're going to try to freeze dry some eggs. Eggs come out amazingly in here. They go right back to the regular consistency of an egg, and so hopefully we'll get to video that and show you guys how that works. But for now, guys, thanks for watching, and so we'll see how this goes, and hopefully this system will save us a ton of money. So, all right, guys, there you have it. Thanks for watching.